All right, welcome back everybody. This is another TTM video, and as we're fond of saying, TTM just stands for through the mail. It's a way to get autographs from your favorite athletes or favorite celebrities through the mail. Just send them a written request along with a card or a photograph asking for their autograph, and you'll be quite surprised how many times you can get a return. When I get the returns, I come to YouTube, post them here in my videos, and share the information. That way, if you see your favorite athlete or celebrity, want to get their information, get their autograph, you can do that. We've got 5, so rather than have me ramble on and on, let's just get right to it. First one is from Orlando, Florida. And it is one card, Davey Johnson. Davey Johnson, former player and manager. He's now 76 years old, signed that beautifully in blue Sharpie. Former second baseman, he played for about 14 or 15 years in the big leagues, was very good. Played for the Orioles and the Braves, actually hit 40 home runs in one year, 42 or 43 actually. But won 2 World Series with the Orioles as a player in 66 and 70. Very good fielder, won 3 Gold Gloves along with his partner at shortstop, Mark Belanger, who was several Gold Gloves, and then the third baseman on those Orioles teams was none other than 16-time Gold Glove winner Brooks Robinson. So the Orioles infield was pretty talented back in the 60s and 70s. 4 times an All-Star. Then his claim to fame probably is when he became a manager. And for one thing he did was lead the Mets to the 1986 World Series title. Also managed the Reds and the Orioles, had success with both those teams. 2-time Manager of the Year, won 1,372 games. Winning percentage of .562, which is pretty darn stellar, I have to say. Is he going to make the Hall of Fame? Well, it's possible. The last 3 managers to go in are Tony La Russa and Bobby Cox and Joe Torre. But those guys were just outstanding. But if you look at a guy like Whitey Herzog, who went in several years ago, he only won 1,281 games, and his winning percentage was .532. So Davey Johnson won about, almost 100 more games. They both won 1 World Series. So, there may come a time where Davey Johnson gets in as a manager, in addition to his great playing career. Anyway, I got that back in 24 days, no fee for Davey Johnson. Next one is coming from North Texas. One of our favorite post offices with the dark return address. There's Buck Showalter. Now, he's only 63, but he's also a former manager like Davey Johnson. And didn't have nearly the playing career that Davey Johnson had. In fact, I don't think he made the major leagues as a player. But he had a very successful career as a manager, much like Davey Johnson. He was a manager for the Yankees and the Diamondbacks and the Rangers, and most recently for the Orioles. He won 1,550 games, losing 15-17 for a winning percentage of .506. Didn't win a World Series, although 2 of the teams he built won World Series the year after he left. So he left the Yankees in 95, I think, and then they won this World Series in 96. He left the Diamondbacks, I think, in 2000, and then they won the World Series in 2001. So a very good manager, won Manager of the Year a couple times. He got the nickname Buck because he liked to sit around the clubhouse buck naked. George Costanza will be proud. For all of you Seinfeld fans who know that little piece of George Costanza trivia. 29 days, no fee for Buck Showalter, 1 of 1. Third comes from Miami, Florida. And that is Mercury Morris. 22, Mercury Morris, 17-0, black Sharpie. Let's see if he signed both. He did. 73 tops and 75 tops. Yep. Both put 17-0 on there. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Get this set up. All right. 73 years old now, Mercury Morris. He's the one of the guys that you see on the Dolphins celebrating each year when the final undefeated team gets a loss in the NFL, because he likes to protect that infamous 72 Dolphin team that had a perfect season, won the Super Bowl, and went 17-0. He played in 3 Super Bowls. He won 2 of them, number 7 and number 8 for the Dolphins. 3 times in the Pro Bowl. And at that time, the Dolphins were loaded with running backs. Jim Kick was an All-Pro. Larry Zonka is a Hall of Famer, and Mercury Morris was an All-Pro. This year, he ran for exactly 1,000 yards. Where's that focus? Oh, 56 days, no fee, Mercury Morris, 2 of 2. 4th return, coming from Rochester, New York. And that is Mr. Maxie Baughan. 2nd return from Mr. Baughan for me. Got him once before, and then I ran across this card. I forget where I found this card. But I thought, well, he's getting up there in age. Let me send to him again. He's 81 years old. He's a former linebacker. 15 seasons from 60 to 74. Mostly for the Eagles. And here, as for the Rams, those are the 2 teams he played for, I believe. You know, the Hall of Fame, they voted, and I thought this was going to be the year for Maxie Baughan in that senior committee where they're trying to get 10 seniors in, and he was not one of the finalists. It shocked the heck out of me. I thought for sure this was his year. 9 times in the Pro Bowl. Won the NFL championship with the Eagles. This is long before the Super Bowl in 1960. Then after his playing career, he became a successful coach in the NFL, including defensive coordinator for the Colts and for the Lions for 20 years or so. Was also the head coach at Cornell University and did pretty well there. He had some health issues the past year or so, so he is 81 years old. So I wanted to send that to him just in case something happened. But I got that back in 38 days, no fee for should-be Hall of Famer Maxie Baughan. This next one is a head scratcher. I know who it is. I've opened one of the packages. This is 84-year-old Jack Lengyel, an 8x10. Let me get the easel set up here. He is a former college football coach and athletic director at several colleges and universities. But his biggest claim to fame is taking over the program at Marshall University after the 1970 plane crash, which killed members of the football team. And you've probably seen the movie We Are Marshall. And the character of Jack Lengyel, the head coach, was played by Matthew McConaughey. Now, many of you know that We Are Marshall was filmed mostly in Huntington, West Virginia. Scenes in and around the campus there at Marshall University. And it's about 45 minutes from where I'm sitting. And I live halfway between the capital city of Charleston, West Virginia, and Huntington, West Virginia. So I actually live about 25 minutes away from campus at Marshall. And I'm also a graduate of Marshall. Got my master's degree there in the early 1990s. And I was in the movie as an extra, as some of you know. I was in 2 scenes. And I'm planning to do a complete video series of We Are Marshall. You know, one of these days I'm going to get around to that. What it's like to be an extra in a movie, what it's like to meet movie stars like Matthew McConaughey, Matthew Fox, January Jones, Oscar winner David Strathairn, what it's like to film scenes, how close the movie was to real life events and so forth. So I think that would be interesting. I don't know. Let me know in the comments down below if you think that would be something you'd be interested in. I'd have to do a whole series, especially the way I like to ramble on and on. Make a video for each one of those little topics that I just talked about. Anyway, I sent a letter of request and a few photos in a self-addressed stamp envelope to Coach Lengyel. And as you see here, the autograph looks like it's double vision, or he erased it and tried to do it over. He sent me this note. It says, "Michael, my cat laid on the photo while the ink was wet." Sorry, she sleeps on my desk under my lamp. Please resend and re-sign over and return a new photo, Jack Lengyel. So, very funny, very funny. But anyway, and I've met Jack Lengyel on several occasions. He is absolutely one of the nicest persons you ever want to meet. Just a great, great guy. And one thing I'll say, that when Matthew McConaughey, for some reason, decided to play him in the movie, that's kind of an eccentric, off-the-cuff kind of guy, and that's very unlike the real Jack Lengyel, who's very much composed, down-to-earth, very much in control of his feelings and so forth. But anyway, I digress. So I sent him, I got that back like in November 15th or so, and I got his note that the cat had did something to the ink. So I resent immediately that same day the same photographs that I sent before. I got a return to sender. So that took about 20 days to get that return to sender. So the same day I got that return to sender, I checked the address and redid an envelope, and then I got that back about 20 days later, return to sender. So evidently, Coach Lengyel has either moved or he doesn't want to take my photographs anymore or something. I haven't heard anything that he's having health issues or anything like that. But it's just a mystery why this keeps getting returned, and that's it for me. I'm not going to try again. I've tried, this is the third time, so I figure I've got the message. But anyway, those are the 5 today, guys. If you know something different about Coach Lengyel, let me know down below. If you like what you see, hit that thumbs up button. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you hit that subscription button, hit that notification bell. That way you'll be notified of all my future videos. Leave a comment down below. I love your comments. I forgot to show the photos of the movie. I'm actually in the trailer. That's Matthew Fox. That's January Jones, and that's yours truly there. I'm in the trailer. I'll put a link down below to the trailer. That's at the 47-second mark. Of course, you've all seen the cover of the DVD, We Are Marshall. I was also in another scene, which is kind of hard to see. It's when one of the players comes back and talks to the Board of Governors and said, I got nothing to say, but they do. And he points out the window, and they look, and that's the first time you hear the We Are Marshall chant. The student body is down below chanting We Are Marshall. Well, that's me right there in that scene. You have to run it in slow motion probably to see it. I'm one of the ones that rushes to the window to take a look at the crowd. But I think I'll do a series on that and just do a video for each one of those topics. Put your comments down below. Maybe you guys have no interest in that at all, and I understand that too. Just let me know one way or another down below. And we'll sign off now. Davey Johnson, Buck Showalter, Mercury Morris, Maxie Baughan, and Jack Lengyel's cat. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you soon.